I couldn't believe that this chunk of plastic transformed into a kayak. Let me show you what I mean. Now, I'd seen Oru Kayaks online in the past and at trade shows, but they never really interested me because they were more recreational, and I'm primarily a kayak angler. So I was like, oh, that's cool, but it's really not for me. I've got a hard-sided fishing kayak that I love, and that's enough. But then I saw that they started making a kayak more geared for anglers. And so, being a sucker for new kayaking gear, new kayak fishing gear, products, everything, I decided to test it out. So I reached out to Oru and they sent me the Beach LT Sport, which has some fishing features. And speaking of features, let's just dive right into what they are. So according to Oru, the Beach LT Sport is agile and sturdy with all the features of an elite kayak. Now, I've only taken this out once, so this is literally copy from their website and not my personal opinion at the moment. They claim that the sturdy integrated rail system allows you to mount fish finders, cup holders, and anything else you might need while you're on the water fishing without having to glue or drill them onto your kayak. The new gel cushion seat provides ultimate comfort for long days on the water fishing, and the open cockpit design just makes it easier to fish from and stuff all of the gear that you need to. At just 28 pounds, the Beach LT Sport has a weight capacity of 300 pounds. So you'll be able to load up more fishing gear than you'll ever use in a single day. It also comes with a 3-year warranty and is created from 5mm double layered polypropylene with a 10-year UV treatment. So basically what they're trying to say, Oru Kayaks are incredibly puncture and abrasion resistant and built to last. They can withstand sliding over rocks, bumping into trees, and being folded tens of thousands of times. Now, like I said, I haven't got to test it to that degree yet, but if all of that's true, this kayak truly is a game changer, and it would be perfect to throw it on your back, hike up to a secluded lake, and start fishing from. And it'd be easy to transport and store even if you don't have a truck and a trailer. Now, like I said, I've only taken it out a couple times, but these are the features that I found truly game changing for kayak anglers. Compared to hardshell kayak, these foldable kayaks are way more compact and just easier to store. They don't require the same amount of space, energy, and effort as the hard-sided kayaks that I'm used to fishing from. As a matter of fact, you can store this kayak in a closet. The compact nature also means that they are very easy to transport, even if you've got a little sedan. They fit in a back seat, most trunks, so you don't gotta worry about throwing it in the back of your pickup truck, or if you don't own a pickup truck, you don't got to worry about buying one. Now, I've tested a few inflatable kayaks as well, and they're very lightweight, but this foldable kayak blows it out of the water. At 28 pounds, it's nearly half the weight of even inflatable kayaks. Now, the few times that I've taken this out, I was surprised at how comfortable it was. That gel seat really is squishy, but yet solid enough that you don't squish down and your butt starts hurting. I've also paddled some cheaper kayaks, and they make my back hurt just by the awkward way I'm sitting, and this one also hasn't done that. The adjustable footrest and comfy seat keep me fairly comfortable, but I still need to fish from it for a few hours in a row just to confirm this statement. Otherwise, I might have to retract just how comfortable this kayak is. Another thing that I loved was that after only one time watching the initial setup video, I figured it out pretty quick. The next time that I needed to set up this kayak, I didn't have to reference it at all. So I would give setup a pretty easy pass because it's fast and simple, unlike origami. The biggest surprise I got first time I paddled this kayak was how well that it handled and how straight it tracked. Since it's very lightweight, I expected to zigzag to my location, and that wasn't the case. I never really had to correct or overcorrect myself while paddling, and I've even paddled some hard-sided kayak where this was the case. So having this foldable kayak already tracked straight is a huge plus. Not to mention that it comes with a removable skeg that you can actually purchase as an accessory and slap on there, and that'll help you track even straighter. So if you ever owned a sleeping bag, you know how frustrating it is to try to stuff that stupid sleeping bag back into the original bag that it came in. And that was my initial concern with inflatable kayaks and with a foldable kayak. How easy is it actually to repack it? Because sure, it can unfold and be easy, but if I can't get it back together, then it takes up too much space. Thankfully, this kayak was pretty simple. After one little mess up on my part, where I didn't read the instructions to do it, I just tried to do it on my own, I folded it all together and it was good to go. Now I can tell that lots of engineering went into this kayak just by the way they designed it, as that these many unique features fit together in just the perfect way to keep it very compact, but yet still functional. So let's do a quick walkthrough and I'll show you what I mean. So let's just start at the front. I like this design, the neoprene. It actually protects it when you run into anything such as rocks at the front. It doesn't go all the way down, but it also kind of keeps water from getting in. Now the front of the kayak is actually folded in such a way that water doesn't just rush in, but it's just an added layer. Plus you've got a little connector here that holds it on, so you're not gonna worry about it falling off or anything like that. I like that. This is a unique way to hold it together. They call it the zippers, and it's basically just a piece of plastic that is holding together kind of like a zipper would. Other pieces of plastic, you know, I think another way they use it is like they have straps right here and that connect. I think I like this better, just a little more watertight seal. We'll move on down. Here's the adjustable footrest. You can adjust it using the straps. As you can tell, there's plenty of leg room here. If you're a little taller, I'm not, I'm short. These same straps are also what hold it together when it's in box form. So you've got to play with it when you first get into it. Here are the rails for your fish finders, for your rod holders, cup holders, whatever. They're on the side too, right there and right there. I'll talk about those a little bit more in a second. Cushy seat, it's actually surprisingly comfortable. Now granted, it is really low when you're sitting down, so if you like to sit up a little higher, this probably isn't going to be the kayak for you. Also, the backrest is decent. Once again, it uses the straps that hold the box together to hold the rest forward. So when you lean into it, it's actually got some strength. You've got a little bit of storage room back behind you. Behind this plate, you can actually put some airbags. That way it won't ever fully sink. Or you could always store some of your gear if you needed it there as well. 2 of these zippers all the way back to the neoprene. Overall, it's a pretty cool design. You know, I mean, you can see here, it's all folded. It looks like there's a crack in it, but it's all folded in such a way that it's not going to leak. Now, while I believe this kayak is a game changer for some, I do actually think that it's going to be an inadequate fishing rig for many other, especially serious anglers like myself. And that's for one glaring reason, and that's just the lack of rigging. I showed you where those rails were at, and when you actually put fishing rods or a cup holder or something there, it's in the way and you can't paddle very well. Now, I understand the reason why they're there and the engineering that went behind it and the thought process, but I don't think they looked at it from a practical approach, unless you're just very short stroking paddles, and you're gonna hate paddling it if you've got a rod holder there. Now, granted, I haven't fished with it at all yet. I paddled it around, but I noticed that my paddle takes up pretty much that whole rail. So I'm gonna test it out and have my thoughts in a later video. But upon first impressions, it lacks the rigging options that would make this attractive to anglers. Now, if you need a more riggable and packable kayak, I suggest checking out the Wilderness Systems iAttack 110. I've got a video right here that is a deep dive into that kayak from an angler's perspective, and I can't wait to see you there.